cougar grinding. Yeah, I've done that recently. I'm more into the goober grinding, which is grannies. Just ahead, something to look forward to for you there, man. So quick show of hands. How many parents out here with kids? Anybody? Yeah, right on. All right, how many single folks out there? Quick show of hands. Anybody single? Awesome. All right, well, I gotta tell you that all of us parents with kids, we fucking hate you people that are single. Because we hate the fact that you can randomly have sex or get drunk and sleep till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We hate you. We just hate you. So going back to before my wife and I had children, we had 3 kids, 3 girls. I come from a big family, Irish Catholic family. I got 7 sisters. I know, I'm not lying. That's the truth. So when my wife and I were talking about having kids, we were pretty sure it was going to be a girl because there's no boys coming out of this area at all. Actually, after we had my 3rd daughter, my dad was like, well, you only got to have 3 more and you'll get that boy. So my wife was like, hey, we're pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. And we were very excited. And we were so blissfully unaware of what we were about to basically go down the road on. And I remember when she first broke her water and we go to the hospital and I was just fired up. I'm like, yes, we're having a baby. I am fucking ready. And my wife was going to have a C-section. And unfortunately, she had to go through like 18 hours of labor before she had her baby, which kind of sucked for her, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And so she finally goes in the room, and the doctor comes out, and the doctor's like, listen, we're going to bring her in, and she's got a C-section, and it'll be about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back out and get you. And I said, okay, cool. And she's like, while you're waiting, why don't you put on the gear? And I'm like, absolutely. I put on the blue stuff, I got the thing on my face, and my mother-in-law's looking at me, and she's got her camera out, and I'm like, bring it on. Let's go. He's actually a huge pussy when it comes to like blood and stuff like that. So we're walking into the room, and the nurse is like, "Okay, we're ready to bring you in, Mr. Thompson." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this." And so I walk in, and door swings open, and there's my mom, my wife on the table. Not my mom, sorry. My wife's on the table, and she's like. All of her parts are like taken out, like there's like 4 people holding like her spleen and all this other stuff. Like they hadn't closed the curtain, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is disgusting. And I looked at it and I was immediately horrified. So I get to where my wife's head was, and I was like, just shocked, shit in my pants. I'm like, I can't even believe this is happening right now. And my wife's looking at me, and there was this little guy, he's like an Asian guy, who's about this tall, and he was the anesthesiologist. And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And my wife's like, you gonna say anything? And I'm like, honey, you're doing fantastic. Everything looks great over there. Your spleen looks wonderful. All your insides, awesome. But, dude, I'm going down. And I immediately passed out. So, the nurses all came over to me, they're like, oh my God, Mr. Thompson, are you all right? And they all leave my wife's parts and whatnot up there. And they give me some smelling salts, whatever, and I come through and I'm like, listen, everybody, I am fine, okay? It's no big deal. It's okay. Just leave me alone. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And they're like, all right, Mr. Thompson, but listen, we're not worrying about you, okay? Your wife, her insides are like cut open. We're trying to get a baby out. Stop fucking around. I'm like, okay, fine. Easy. So I feel a little better. They give me some orange juice, and I sit on like a little swivel chair thingy, and I feel all right. I'm on like a swivel chair, and I kind of wheel my way over to my wife's head. I'm like, hey, honey, everything's pretty good. You're doing great. This is awesome. Sure enough, the baby comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And they give me the baby, and they're like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. This is fine. I'm like, whatever. What's the big deal? And so they give me the baby and hold the baby, and my wife and I are having this amazing moment, and everything's incredible. And all of a sudden, the doctor's like, listen, Jen, you're gonna feel some tugging and some pulling, so just know that that's gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, no biggie. And it just so happens that my height was right where that little slit was, where you can kind of see to the other side where they were. It was like this big blue curtain thingy. And they started like putting my wife back together, and I see some blood start spewing out and stuff. And I immediately started to feel nauseous again. So I had my daughter in my hands, and she was about maybe 3 minutes old. And I'm like, honey, you're doing great again. You really are doing awesome. And I just want to commend you on all the hard work you're doing here. I'm like, excuse me for a second. So I wheel over to the nurse and I start tugging on her, and she's like still holding like my wife's insides. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna pass out again, so maybe you take a break. And the nurse is like, are you fucking kidding me? And, I was like, no, actually I'm not. Totally dead serious. So I would appreciate it if you took her like right now. And, sure enough, she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll put this over here now. And takes the baby, and I gave her my daughter, and I instantly pass out backwards, and the chair went flying across the room. So, needless to say, it was a very harrowing experience for me. I did obviously all the hard work. So I come out of the waiting room, and I look like I just won like 20 rounds with Mike Tyson, and I'm like all sweaty and disgusting, and I'm like crying like a fucking baby. And her mom and her dad are standing there, and of course they see me come out, and I'm just a mess, like an emotional basket case. And they're like, holy crap, something horrible happened. And I'm like trying to say something, right? And so Jen went through the 18 hours of labor, and then she had the baby, which took, I don't know, a couple hours anyway. And clearly I'm like just exhausted. And I'm trying to be like, listen, everything's fine. But nothing would come out. Like the words just wouldn't come out. And I was like just emotional and crying. I'm trying to be like, hey, everything's okay. But it was just all coming out as like, nothing was happening. So her father just grabbed me by the neck and he goes, you better fucking tell me what the fuck's going on. Oh, it's okay, Dad. Everything's good. It's all right. So that was my experience. Needless to say that when we had our other two children, I was not allowed into the So harrowing experience for sure. One of the other people mentioned Jesus. I grew up Catholic, going to Mass my entire life, and I always wondered, like, what if Jesus was born in Boston? Like, wouldn't all the apostles be like nicknamed Sully? Like, every single one of them. Like, you'd be in church and they'd be like, please turn to the book of Sully. Everybody would be like, Father, which one is that? They're all fucking Sully. Sully from Dorchester. Ah, okay. He was a crazy bastard. All right, that's my time. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you.